Los Angeles, the City of Angels, or LA, is known for being home to the rich and famous. It's also known for its year-round awesome weather with over 280 sunny days a year. Being the second largest city in the States, LA is a huge melting pot of opportunities, ethnic diversity, and entertainment. However, with a city of this size comes a few domestic downsides: homelessness, horrible traffic, and a few unsafe areas. So, when you're choosing where to live, you really need to consider the right vibe, the distance from main highways or work, and a place that you can afford, so that you can relax and safely enjoy everything that LA has to offer. This channel is all about living in LA, where I cover communities all over the city. If you're interested in learning more about what LA has to offer, then subscribe to this channel and tap the little bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current happenings and market here in LA. My name is Kohli Catalano and I'm with Craft & Bower, and I'm a realtor here in LA. If you're considering moving here, to help you find the perfect neighborhood, I wanted to go through 5 safe and more affordable neighborhoods to move to in LA. Now, I know that there are those of you that will tell me that nothing in LA is affordable, and that probably carries some truth to it. But this list is for those of you that do want to and need to be here in LA. Now, obviously there are more areas than those that I'm going to discuss today, but I wanted to give you a rundown of my top picks based on affordability and safety combined, whilst also considering schools, crime, things to do, and so on. I'm going to try and give you a range so that we cover something in all corners of the city. All right. So the first neighborhood of the day is Glendale, which is adjacent to Burbank and Pasadena, and Glendale lies in the Woodland Hills. It's situated about 10 miles north of downtown LA, and it has a population of nearly 200,000 people. Glendale is a beautiful neighborhood. It's extremely clean, peaceful, and very family oriented. There's a lot of things to do in the area. The city is home to the highest concentration of Armenians outside Armenia, and Glendale's commercial area consists of various businesses, including healthcare, aerospace, entertainment. The Walt Disney Company and DreamWorks Studios are based here. The city is also home to fantastic shopping options, such as the Americana at the Brand and the Glendale Galleria. Residents of Glendale enjoy plenty of biking, hiking, and generally many outdoor opportunities because of the neighboring mountains and Griffith Park. It's a very outdoor lifestyle. Glendale is the 3rd safest neighborhood in Los Angeles, California. Now, the downside about living in Glendale is that it is a little bit far, not so much in distance, but really just in terms of traffic. So if you want to get into the city, or even though you're so close to downtown and the valley, at certain times of day, you really need to expect traffic. So you probably have to time when you leave the house. So our second neighborhood today is Burbank. Burbank is located on the far east side of the valley, and it's nestled up also against the Woodland Mountains. Burbank has a community feel with lots of bars and restaurants. But if you want more action, you only need to jump in the car or on the 5 freeway and you're 10 minutes away from downtown LA. Burbank also has its own airport, which I highly recommend. If you can get a flight from there, please do it, as you can bypass the LAX traffic and the long security lines. There's usually hardly anybody there, which I personally love. Burbank has a lot of history, and it's home to many movie and television studios. So many of the homes here were designed to house production crew who work in the nearby studios, which is why there are many more affordable, modest properties here, as well as the mansions up into the hills. The shopping options are also brilliant in Burbank. It has its own vibrant shopping centre in downtown, as well as the largest superstores that are on the edge of town. So you can pretty much find most of what you need here on a day-to-day basis. The neighbourhoods are somewhat affordable in LA standards anyway, and safe, and they're a great place for you to raise your kids and put them through schools as well. So our third neighborhood today, we're going to look at Echo Park. Echo Park is centrally located with easy access to Silver Lake, downtown, Chinatown, and other great areas of LA, making it a very desirable spot for anybody wanting to be near the action. Echo Park is very community friendly with beautiful greenery, extensive parks, and charming Victorian style craftsman houses. There's a rich variety of hip mum and pop shops, cafes and trendy eateries along Sunset Boulevard, as well as farmers and flea markets at the weekend. Echo Park is a trendy up-and-coming neighbourhood with a dark past but a bright future. Like with downtown LA, it used to be very unsafe and had a really bad reputation, but over the last few years it's turned around and it's become quickly one of the most sought after areas in LA. That's because it's perfect for young and single sporty folk, Dodgers fans, or all of the above. The Dodger Stadium is definitely a great highlight. Even if you're not a fan, I would recommend going. The buzz of the crowds and hot dogs just creates a great atmosphere that you really need to experience. At the centre of the neighbourhood is a lake, Echo Park Lake, which is an excellent place for a date on a swan boat. You can experience the typical laid back and chilled vibes of LA in Echo Park with the melting pot of diversity that really only a city like LA can summon. On to Area 4 for today is Woodland Hills, which is located on the southern western point of the San Fernando Valley, right between Calabasas and Tarzana. The 101 freeway cuts through Woodland Hills and through Topanga Canyon. Many residents enjoy Woodland Hills for a peaceful, quiet suburban vibe, and there isn't too much of a nightlife here unless you're going to go to neighbouring communities such as Sherman Oaks and Studio City. Although over the last few years there have been a few bars that have been popping up along Ventura Boulevard, which is an 18-mile stretch of road with loads of mum and pop businesses. Generally, in Woodland Hills, you have fantastic shopping options that service this side of the valley. You have the Westfield Topanga Mall and the Village, which is an outdoor mall with some really nice new restaurants that have appeared over the last few years. Now, I wanted to discuss Woodland Hills with you as there are some new, big and exciting developments planned here. Quite a lot of land around Warner Park and the old Promenade Mall is said to have been bought by the owners of the Los Angeles Rams, and they are apparently building their brand new Los Angeles practice facility, which will of course enhance this area. Woodland Hills has a lot of tree-lined streets and is very peaceful, with really good schools. Being a little bit further away from the city than other valley neighbourhoods like Sherman Oaks and Studio City and Encino, Woodland Hills is a little bit more affordable. As far as buying a house goes, the average home sale price was 1.2 million in 2022, and there are lots here that tend to be on the larger side. It's also in pretty close proximity to the beach. If you just head down to Topanga Canyon, you can get down to Malibu and see the Pacific Ocean, Zuma Beach in about 25 minutes. So that brings us to the last neighborhood of the day. And this one is something that I wanted to put in for those of you that want to be in close proximity to the water. Because let's face it, if you're thinking about moving to LA, there's a good chance that you'll want to be near the beach. So today I want to look at Torrance, which is located just inland in the South Bay in Los Angeles. It's just north of Palos Verdes and Long Beach, and it's just inland of Redondo Beach. Torrance is one of the largest cities in LA, as well as being probably the largest one in the South Bay. It's just a couple of miles from the beach, so you can very easily ride your bike to the beach without having to pay the expense of living in Redondo or Hermosa or Palos Verdes. It is much safer compared to a lot of the cities that border it to the north, or as you go a little bit more inland into South LA. Torrance is known for being very diverse and for having low crime. It does have its own unified school district, which is really well rated and really well funded, as well as having great hospitals. Overall, I would say it's a very family-friendly town with so many parks and things to do. Not to mention all of the good food that comes out of this town from being a very diverse place to live. Torrance is also home to the Del Amo Fashion Center, which is a huge 3-level regional mall. You get very nice residential neighborhoods and This comes from living a little bit more inland, but you still have very easy access to the beach life in the summer. Although the rent here is a little bit high in comparison to valley areas, you'll never forget paying high rent if you're an outdoorsy person who's looking for a little adventure. In daily life itself, if you're a 9-to-5er, you can always wrap up work just in time to catch the sunset over the Pacific. I hope you found this overview of these 5 towns useful. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to drop me a text or an email. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching.